Tia turned down the position of first president of the Torn Republic, and LePont chosen as first president. Matthew passed away shortly after learning of the Liberation Army's victory. Luke disappeared along with Leknat. Humphrey left the Torn Republic together with Fudge without stating their destination. Cassidy turned down the position of Commander-in-Chief and returned to Moravia Castle to help strengthen the northern defences. Took the position of Commander left the Republic in search of Yuma, who had disappeared. Died protecting Tyr in Sonia Prison. Became the first chairman of the Torn Republic's Congress. Gained influence as head of the Merchants Guild. Wary of battle, she still protects Tyr's home to this day. Victor disappeared in the midst of the final battle. Valeria became a commanding officer in the Torn Republican Army, acting as mediator with the village of the elves. Griffith refused to join the Republican Army, instead starting his own business. Clive, by the time the battle was over, he already disappeared. Flick disappeared in the midst of the final battle along with Victor. Camille appointed as the bow staff instructor in the Republican Army. Cruz invited to join the Republican Army but declined and left the Republic. Stallion took off on a journey, promising he returned as the fastest man in the world. Karga left for some faraway place, saying that his contract was over. Vasulu briefly returned to the Cobalt village before departing on a journey. Kirkus devoted himself to rebuilding the village of the elves. Millage spends the rest of his days watching over the graves where Barbarossa and Claudia lie resting. Part was killed in a duel. Sonia took over command of the Torn Republican Navy, where she gained military renown. Angie began using his ship for legitimate trade, hoping to make his fortune. Taiho returned to the village of Kaku and continued his carefree existence. Kanak joined Angie in his new business. Yam Ku now spends his days fishing leisurely on the shores of Lake Torin. Leonardo joined Angie in his new business. Hicks, having been recognized as a true warrior, set off on a journey. Tengar joined Hicks on his journey, uninvited, saying that he'd be lost without her. Varkas was appointed commander of the Torn Republic Border Guard. Sidonia invited to join the Republican Army along with Varkas, but disappeared. Eileen, wherever LePont is, she is there by his side. Leon returned to Kaleka to live out the rest of his days. Georges headed north, saying he found a good money-making opportunity. Ivanov set off on a journey in search of colours that represent freedom. John continued working as a rune sage. Aikai set off on a journey training in search of powerful opponents. Maximilian died in combat. Sancho spent his days trending to his master's grave. Leisure became the co-commander of the Capital Guard. Alan died in combat. Tesla appointed as the secretary of the Torn Republic. Jabba put in charge of managing the Republic's finances. Lorelei departed for a new land in search for the next adventure. Blackman returned to his fields. Joshua returned to the Dragon Knights in order to train future generations. Morgan returned to the Kulon Temple to resume his training. Morris dedicated himself to rebuilding Gregminster, the new capital. Esmeralda lives a life of elegance in a house with a garden full of roses. Melody set off on a journey to collect sounds from around the world. Chapman quit the armor business and opened a playhouse, which is a roaring success. Lucan opened a clinic where he saves the lives of many people. Fukin returned to the Kulon Temple. Futch, having lost his position as Dragon Knight, he set off on a journey with Humphrey. Kasumi returned to the hidden village of Rakaku. Mars, made aware of his own ineptitude, has devoted himself to further training. Crowley, weary of worldly affairs, has returned to his cave. Fibber was invited to live in the village of Rakaku. Mu succeeded the title of Master Blacksmith. Mies headed to the village of the dwarves to continue his training. Sergei made a fortune selling his inventions. Finally, Kimberly forced her way into Taiho's house and ended up living there. Sheena, still gallivanting around as usual. Kessler, appointed as commander of the Torn Republic's Patrol Corps. Marco continued to live life his own indomitable way. Jan returned to the village of Tien, where he continues to work as a shipwright. Hugo became the Torn Republic's first judge. Hellion took over the position of astrologer in Leknat's palace. Mina became the most popular dancer in the Republic and now leads a life of luxury. Milia returned to the domain of the Dragon Knights to resume her duties. Kamadol continues to devote himself to his alchemical studies. Juppo departed on a journey in search of new gadgets. Cassio set off on a journey to spread the songs of the Liberation Army to the people across the land. Vicky, another teleportation blunder, sent her flying off to some faraway place. Okay. Ruby welcome into the rebuilt village of the elves. Vincent de Boule returned home and received his inheritance. Meg left home once again, saying that adventure was calling. Taggart serves as Warren's assistant. Giovanni started his own business with LePont's assistant. Quincy returned to the forest where he hunts alone and lives freely. Set off on a journey to research and write a biography of Matthew. Kai, appointed as the martial arts instructor of the Republican Army. Lotz lives in a little house together with her cat Mina. Mace retired as the master blacksmith and passed on the title to Moose. Onya still loves some good gossip. Kurumimi returned to the Cobalt village and became its chief. Gon, currently working hard to become the second greatest Cobalt warrior, the greatest being Kurumimi. Antonio continued working as a cook at Marie's Inn. Lester opened a restaurant specializing in stews. Kirk gave up his trusty scythe and became a farmer. Rock asked to design a vault for the dwarves. He devotes himself to his task. Later, went straight and opened a successful inn. Sylvina kept her childhood promise and became Kirkus's bride. Ronnie is apparently now training diligently to become a good housewife. Gaspar still lives in the town of Kaku and still enjoys playing dice. Window, given the task of creating good decorative windows for the tower on Magician's Island. Marie reopened her inn in Greatminster, the new capital. Zen is said that the grounds of Torin are still filled with flowers to this day. Sarah, working as a maid at Marie's inn, still ready to give any guest she take. Satsuke devoted himself to designing new baths. Kula became gatekeeper of Torin Castle at his own request. So, Templeton set out to sea in order to see the edge of the world. Kryn vanished along with Greatminster's palace treasures. He stole it. Chandler realized his long-cherished ambition of owning a store of his own. Good lord.